Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Creations Effects Tutorials, Demos, and Reviews. So today we have up the Line6 HX One, which is pretty much it's a single pedal, single effect at a time, but it's a multi-effects unit due to the fact that you have access up to, I believe they said 250 different effects. So what you were just listening to is there's 0 amp bass DI, which is like a Sans amp type emulation pretty much. So let me move this up real quick. There we go. So, you know, nice sound to it. You know, that's my bass dry. Right? Turn on the Sans amp. So get a nice Sans amp type of distortion there, or overdrive, you know. And right before that we have the Ampeg Scrambler. Now I'm not going through every single effect on here, okay? So, but these two are the main bass, I guess, bass oriented or bass type of overdrive. And I do appreciate that they have a nice blend in there. You know, I always talk about that when you're doing different effects. You want to have a blend knob in there. Let's hear a little bit of that. So, my initial thoughts, just being transparent here, my initial thoughts of this unit, before just watching, other YouTubers review it and stuff, I'm like, what's the point of having one effect? And to be honest, I'm still there, especially because you guys know I'm an avid Zoom multi-stop user, especially with things like the Zoom MS-70 or the Zoom MS-60B Plus, running about, on sale right now. The MS-60B Plus is on sale for $100 right now. You also have the TC Electronic Plethora X1 that just was released. So, and they're both at a fraction of the price of this. The TC Electronic pedal is actually running $129 right now. Compared to this, on sale is $250. So, it's like, yes, theoretically, if you bought all these pedals separately, it would be, way more money. Yes, that is true. But is it twice as good as something like the Zoom MS-70 CDR Plus or the Zoom MS-60B Plus, or like the TC Electronic Plethora X1, which is, the exact same thing, but TC Electronics version. So it's going to have pretty much all these same types of effects, just TC Electronics versions of them, which are very good as well. So, and I'll be doing that review soon as well. So don't worry, you'll have access to all that. But yeah, so here's another one. I'm guessing this is like the Noble emulation. Right, so we go there and then let's take this off of there. All right, and we'll turn this on. All right, let's play that a little bit. So you can get a nice, has a nice noble sound to it. You know, that's supposed to be a noble emulation there. So let me turn that off real quick. Matter of fact, let me pull up this effects list so I can be sure I'm being a little accurate with this. Effects descriptions. So, yeah, let's pull this up. Pull this up here. So that's a nice effect though. Just for comparison, Zoom, the MS6, the Zoom B6 also has same thing. So this is my bass without it, and then I'll turn it on. So it's actually a nice bass DI type sound right there. You know, but that is a noble emulation. If you like the noble sound, you know, that can get you close. Now, is it going to sound exactly like it? Probably not. If you had, you know, it's like everything looks like something until you put them side by side, or you do some real inspecting, you know, and see the details, listening to them in person. But yeah, doesn't sound bad at all. And like I said, if you want that noble type sound, that sounds good. And one thing I will say about these effects, my gripe with this unit isn't that it has bad effects or that they don't sound good. It's that they don't. It's only one of them is the real problem. So for me, it's like, where do I even put this on my pedal board without having to move it around? Like, because, you know, something like the multi-stomp series by the Zoom with the Zoom pedals allows you 6 effects at a time. So I can have them wherever, and, you know, they cover a ton of different needs. Compared to this, it's like, do I try to run it last? Do I try to run it in the middle? Like, where am I supposed to put this? Like, you know, I have certain effects I do like on here. You know, most of these distortions and stuff are kind of useless to a bassist, just being honest. Like, you're never going to use all these non-bass stuff. It's the reason why bass players, we like to have our bass specific stuff. It's because it has a different weight to it, like a lot of times, and it has it's just a feel that bass, things that are designed for bass have that to make it feel a little better. So we're gonna move on to this Ampeg opt comp, and we're gonna use some parallel compression by mixing in our dry signal. Let's do 60-40, leaning towards the wet signal. So here's my bass without it, and then I'll turn it on. Yeah, and for me, one of the main questions is, you know, or I have in general, well, not even have. It's just, it's like, are any of these effects $250 worth of that effect? Like, I'm just, so if it's this Ampeg Opticomp, that pedal, whatever that pedal would cost, of course, I don't have to buy it. But would I want to use this unit to just sit on a compressor when there's better compressors out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real thing. There's better compressors. There's way better compressors than the ones they have in here for bass, especially. I'm not even talking about the guitar stuff. A lot of the guitar stuff just doesn't translate well over the bass. That's why you see guys with the HX Stomp at the end of their chain, because they're using it pretty much for modulations, delays, and reverbs. Maybe some of them synths, at times, but there's better bass synths out there. Like, everything, my main thing is I can get the same thing done with a MS-70 CDR Plus or a Zoom. I would say just the CDR. That would be my main thing. The Zoom MS-70 CDR Plus would do a lot of what I would use this unit for, but more of it because I got 6 units. I got 6 slots I can use on that unit compared to one at a time for this one. Plus, this one is twice as much. Right now, I think the MS-70 CDR Plus is on sale for like $129. I think that's actually the usual price, $129. The MS-60B Plus is on sale for $100. And it's like all that stuff in the MS-60B Plus, yes, it doesn't have as big a variety of modulations, delays, reverbs, and filters, but it also has amp models. It also has overdrives, distortions, things, preamps that are all geared towards bass. So, for me to really recommend this pedal is kind of difficult. Now, I do like some of the effects in here, but we got to remember a lot of these effects are things that are emulating other equipment. And of course, when something is kind of emulating this, in a unit like this, it's never just like spot on all the time. Like it's like very, some of the stuff is spot on. You just kind of got to take it as it is. But you know, and I say that even about the Zoom stuff as well. You know, you just want to listen to it and play around with it a bit. But I ain't even. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the stuff I would really use this pedal for, because I wouldn't use it to sit on as no compressor. You know, it's nice it has compressors and noise gates and, you know, EQ and that type of stuff and all these overdrives and distortions you'll never use as a bassist. But it is a simple pedal. And it does sound nice in the stereo, you know. I do like the way it sounds stereo. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. You know, I have to buy this gear myself. I'm not endorsed with any of these companies, including Zoom. You know, I just really like you guys to have. I know a lot of times the Zoom stuff doesn't get as much. It gets downplayed because it's not like some, you know, fancy name for a lot of folks. Yeah, that's nice. Let's explore that a little bit. This is the mod chorus echo. So I do like the my favorite things on here is going to be the modulations, the delays, and the reverbs, personally. And I can tell you that now. Some of the filters are okay too, you know, and some of the synths. But my favorite things on here are the modulations, the delays, and the reverbs. So. So you can get some nice stuff with this one. But you gotta, again, where do you keep it on your pedal board? It's like literally, because you're having to choose one effect at a time, it's like where am I going to put that and get the value out of it? Like get that $250 value. It's on sale for $250 right now, but they're normally $300. So it's just like, where am I going to get that value out of it on my pedal board? Like, I know if I put the Empress and the color box at the end of my chain, I know what value that brings. Like, I can hear the value. It's like, if I put this, if I leave this on this delay per se, is this going to be worth $250 or $300 just to have that delay effect there? You know, or have a bunch of delays when just being honest, like I said, the Zoom MS-60 CDR Plus is only $129. You can literally buy this. You can buy the Zoom pedal and the new TC Electronic Plethora X1 for the price of pretty much this pedal. You know, that's one. The Zoom pedal is $129. The other one is $129 as well. So about $160. You can have two pedals, and one of them will still have all the functionality of this one. And you still would have the other one to run stereo and do everything else. And so you essentially would have a 7-slot multi-effects unit with two pedals for $250 compared to this joint by itself for $250 is just not worth it. And like I said, I like it. I like the way it sounds. You know, I just think the price is a bit much. Let's go and listen to some effects though. Because I do, like I said, I do like the effects on here. Who the heck is knocking at my door? Oh, speaking of, hold on, guys. Speaking of it, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. The TC electronic pedal actually just got here. Give me 1 second. Be right back. In the meantime, all right, and we're back. So, yeah, that was the UPS dropping off the TC Electronic Plethora X1. But let's continue. We'll get to this later. But that is here. Let's go and put that down here. So, and I'm going to do a direct comparison between all these pedals. So I'm going to do a direct comparison between the X1, the Zoom MS-60 CDR Plus, and the TC Electronic Plethora X1. But this is an individual review right now. So, and you know, one thing, like I said, I was saying prior to. Yeah, some of these effects are just like, where am I supposed to use this stuff? Like, and where am I supposed to really ideally place this unit in my signal chain without having to move it around all the time? Like, you know, because it's only one effect, and the fact that I wouldn't mind. I like I said, the TC Electronic Plethora X1 pretty much replaces all of quite a bit of their pedals in one pedal. Like, you know, like I understand why theirs is 129. 129 because if you had to buy all those pedals separately from TC Electronic, and you can only, a lot of those you can't get sounds. Those are specific to TC Electronic sounds. So compared to, you know, these are just emulations of other pedals, or some of them are Line 6 original stuff, you know, but it just depends on, I guess, if you're a Line 6 fan with their stuff or not. And it's like, are these effects, like, if I'm going, that doesn't sound like in my opinion. I know you're paying for everything together, but it's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? And this is one of the benefits of, you know, following a YouTuber that doesn't just say, yeah, everything sounds good or everything's amazing. Like, everything's not amazing. It does sound good. Like I said, it's good as a one pedal, you know, like one effect. The problem is, if you want to combine this with other pedals, where do you put it exactly? Like, using it as a compressor seems like a bit of a waste of money. You want a $250 compressor, you might as well get you a Empress compressor. Like, let's just be real. Like, get you something that's analog and sounds really good. Because none of those compressors in here are going to beat the Empress compressor. This is definitely one of my favorite choruses in here. Where's the other? What's going on? So feel free to ask questions and stuff, you know, and I can and about this unit, you know, and stuff. But, you know, I'll give you a quick answer to that one. But it's my favorite amp sims on the ToneX series pedals, and ToneX One, ToneX software as well. Which it's a good time to tell you guys, I have all my packs and stuff for different pedals. The Zoom MS-60B Plus, Zoom B6. I got a C4 synth pack with 47 different bass synths in there. The ToneX series pedals, I have 11 different preamp packs in there available, as well as my personal ToneX One list in there. So, and I'll have, you know, I will have a preset pack for the HX One as well. That's going to be coming out soon, but you know, for those of you all that still want to get it anyway, you know, it's no secret I'm not the hugest fan of Line 6 stuff, and that's just me. You know, I just can get it done. Like, let me see. This that MXR. I think it's 117. Flanger. Let's see how far we can spread that. And then let's see if we can mix in a little dry signal. Yeah, so you know, I find little things like that. I like that one, you know, but is that I'm just gonna do a quick comparison because I can. I'm gonna I'm gonna turn on the let me find the version of this on the MS-70 CDR Plus. Mind you, this is a $129 pedal, and it has access to all pretty much. That's one thing I did notice. A lot of these same emulations you can find on the Zoom pedals as well. Especially this, now you won't get all these drives on the MS-70 CDR Plus. It's just modulations, delays, reverbs, and filters. It does have compressors on there as well, and it does have a bit crusher. You know, I believe it has a ring modulator on here as well. But what am I looking for? Okay, vintage flanger. I think it's this one. Yep. So this is the Zoom one. This is the Zoom. Now the Line 6. See, it just don't go through as hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just not as. Let me check out some of the other flangers. This one's a little bit more aggressive. Let me see. Pull up my list. Yeah. So 1 for 1, you know, for me, I'm gonna go with that Line6 joint over this one, you know, over this particular. Like you can hear it. But it's just not like it's not present enough compared to what you can do dial in with them. That's pure funk right there. And that's the MS-70 CDR Plus. That's a $129 pedal versus this $250 pedal emulation of it. It's like I can't get it to come through enough. It's just too laid back. That's what I want to, when I turn on a flanger, I want to feel it. You know, and you can find that on the Zoom B6 as well. You know, the one on the Zoom B6 probably even better because it's twice the quality. So let's change that up real quick. Let me see. You know, and I'm doing this for, I mean, this pedal, like I said, I like some of the effects on here. And I'm going to go to one of my favorite effects on here. It's actually the analog flanger. The analog one. Let me see. Is that what it's called? I think that's the preset called. It was analog flanger. Let me see. It was it might have been the preset. Where is it though? Oh, it's analog something. Let me see. Where is it? Might be in this other section. Give me 1 second. I'm just so the analog flanger. This joint, I like this one. It's pretty cool. Let me make sure everything off over here. Just bypass that. That I don't know. They don't give you too much information about the DSP limitations on here. You know, Zoom is pretty upfront with theirs. They let you know if you use a certain combination of heavy processing effects that it'll top out. But that's when you running. That also runs 6 effects at a time. This just runs 1. It should be fine for $250. It shouldn't have no DSP limitation on 1 effect. Like that 1 effect, when you use that 1 effect, it needs to almost be worth the price of the pedal, for the simple fact that you can only use 1 at a time. That makes it like that one effect that you have to use on that pedal needs to be worth that $250. There we go. Yeah, I feel like this one, this is actually one of their legacy models, the analog flanger, and I feel like this one actually is better, closer than the newer version they created. The newer version one is kind of too subtle. Here we go, a little bit more. Compare that to the Zoom, and we're gonna put it on the. Let's just go ahead and put it on the B6 real quick too. So we're gonna do the B6, which is like twice as much as this unit is, but it also does way more. But we're gonna just try it out, one effect, just the one. You know what I'm saying? Vintage flanger. See what that feel like on there. But do you just, it just like, even though the Zoom pedal, the B6 isn't gonna have as many modulations as this pedal does, they're all bass centered, modulations. So it makes it like them all usable in some way, shape, or form. Some of these aren't really that useful to us as bass players, especially if they don't things that just kind of like I guess any of these could be useful. I mean, but it's just like you would have to determine. I guess you would have to determine if you were going to use it as a type of effect. Like, I need this in my modulation section, so I can use the modulation section as I please. Or, am I going to use this as a delay or reverb, because those go in different places as well. Like right now, I have it at the very end of my chain. So this being there isn't necessarily, it means I pretty much have to use it almost like a reverb pedal at times, because it's the last thing in my chain, and I just need to be able to do that with that last pedal. That's why I keep the MS-70 CDR or the Zoom B6 at the end of a chain, because I can then add delays and reverbs, or if I wanted to, with both of those units, and I really don't have to compromise. It doesn't matter which order I have them in. those pedals. As long as they're near the end, I can always have my delays and reverbs and use modulations and different things to color those as well. So the hard part with this is like, sheesh. Make sure y'all hit that like button while y'all here hanging with me too, you know. Yeah, I believe, you know, with the terms of the limitations, but for $250, they shouldn't have all these limitations on it like that. That doesn't help. But let's go through some more of these modulations and stuff. One feature I do like on this pedal is the flux feature, where pretty much I can have two different parameter settings for the same effect, and I just press that and it literally goes to a different set. So the way you do that, right now I have it in, sometimes if you hold this, it might, or when you first get it, it might be in top mode, be blinking like this. You just simply hold it, and now you're in flux mode. Now, when it's on is one setting, when it's off is another. And so, say when it's on, I can come over here, hold, adjust the speed knob wherever I want it, hold it. Now, when I do, and something like this really becomes handy when you got a Leslie effect. Let me go to the Leslie effects they have. So, and then bam. Now when I press it, I can use it like a Leslie. They had all this distortion in here. Let me pull this drive out. You could choose between the horn and the bottom of it. It's an actual Leslie. And then you can also mix that in there. So another thing I do like that they have is you can change the shape of the curve in which it comes on and off in the flux mode. So as the flux mode is coming on and off, that shape that it's doing, it can be an immediate shape where it's like this, or it can be a longer shape where it takes longer. What did I just do? Oh, it takes longer to come on. Yep, and it even takes longer with the light as well. See how it's still decreasing rather fast, and I can also make it take 6 seconds to turn off. So it's going to take 3 seconds to turn on. And it's going to take 6 seconds to turn off. So that's another useful feature on this pedal, and I do say I really do like that feature. And you know, like I said, my only issue with this pedal is that it's one effect. You know, it's not that the effects don't sound good or it's not any that can work for bass. Already went through some delays. And it's like, do those delays really sound $120 better than the ones on the Zoom? You know. You know, so you can get a lot of the same. This is a ping pong delay. Let me see. Let me pull up a ping pong delay just so. That's the Zoom pedal. This is the Zoom pedal. So does that really sound, you know, if I'm gonna use this as a ping pong delay, right? Does that sound like $120 better than that ping pong delay? Is anybody gonna notice a difference between those two? No, they're not. And actually you can probably get about the same exact sound if you really, you know, try it, you know. Just the quarter notes. There you go, same sound. And that's not even me trying hard. That's me adjusted one thing. And mind you, I still have 5 other slots on the MS-70 CDR Plus compared to the HX One that one ping pong delay is going to cost me the entire slot on that unit, and I can't do anything else. Like, I have to literally change presets or do something else. Compared to the Zoom pedal, I could literally go on to finish out the sound. And I can literally turn it on and off. Both effects. So, you know, a lot of times, my main beef with Line 6 Helix, the Line 6 Pod, Express Bass, is not that their effects sound bad per se. Is that I think these things are overpriced. Like, I think they're running too much for them just because they're in demand. I understand they're in demand. You got to make your money. But in terms of what they can do, not what they feel like it costs, but in terms of functionality, and this pedal ain't no better than the Zoom pedals. Only thing is, I like the Zoom pedals more because I can do more things with them at once. And I could buy two MS-70 CDR pluses and run them back to back and have 12 slots for about a little bit, $10 more than what I paid for this HX One. So when you look at things like that, it's like, is it worth it? Let's keep going. I want to get over to the this portion of the pedal. So you can do some pretty cool things with the whammy, pitch whammy pedal on there. What's going on, everybody that's just joining in? Appreciate y'all. Yeah, the whammy pedal on here is okay. It's not the greatest. It doesn't have the greatest polyphonic octavers. To me, I think Zoom might have them there too. But the functionality of this pedal is, for what it is, if you're into single effects, I guess, like if you just wanted to have access to like Helix effects, I guess, like if they mean that much to you that you'd spend an extra $100 compared to something like the Zoom MS-70 CDR Plus, or even, like I said, in the middle of the video, I had got a knock at the door and got this. These are running 129 as well. You know, I got a real thing about doing reviews and not being honest in them. I don't like how a lot of YouTubers aren't honest in their reviews. They're giving you this cookie cutter review of the gear, trying not to upset the companies, I guess. But them folks ain't, when they pay me something, then we talk about it. But I ain't even then, I think I'll just keep it like this, because it's got to be one person that give you the honest truth about this stuff. It's got to be at least one person. Dang. Like if these companies can't handle honest reviews, they shouldn't be one people to spend their money with them. So, got this in the mail a few minutes ago. And this is the new TC Electronic Plethora 1, which is pretty much the same thing, just TC Electronics version, you know. And this one, you don't get as many presets and all this other stuff. You don't get all the... Now, I will say this little thing's got some nice features, like the HX One has some nice features, like the MIDI. MIDI is a nice feature. The stereo in and out, which, I mean... These other two pedals have them as well. Really, in the foot switch, that's where it get these other two, is the foot switch, really. But in terms of the flux on here is just called mash. You know what I'm saying? So you literally can do the same thing where you have the settings, you know, different settings for, you know, two different parameters just switching between with this. But we'll get to this later. This is definitely coming up. It's probably tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Make sure you check out my Patreon as well. You know what I'm saying? And if you want some of my settings for this stuff, they're going to be available, because I'm going to be making settings for this pedal, the HX One, the Zoom MS-60 CDR Plus. Going to be packs all on Patreon, as well as there's already packs for the Zoom MS-60B Plus, Zoom B6, the ToneX One and ToneX pedals and software, as well as a 47-piece, you know what I'm saying, 47 presets for the C4 synth. So, you know, all the bass synths you can need. But, yeah, these two pedals are really, this is $129 versus this Helix, this HX One is $250 on sale, going back up probably to $300, and the MS-70 CDR Plus is only $129. So there you go. This is only one effect at a time as well, and it's only 14 slots. You know, it's 7 slots on here, but you got an alternate set, so that makes every slot have 2 slots. So it's 14 altogether. But I love some of these. If you look at the cost of these pedals individually, these are TC Electronics original effects that they made compared to the Helix. I mean, the HX One, they're emulating a lot of other pedals. This is not emulating other pedals. This is just all the TC Electronic pedals in one, if that makes sense. All the individual pedals. So like the Vortex, the Corona Chorus, all that stuff is in this one box, but you can only use one of them at a time. You know, but they got the X3 and the X5 as well. So check. Definitely something to look out for, but we'll put that off to the side there. Let's get back to it. So they got the Boctiver, which is, we can also do some direct comparison with that as well. You know, hey, see, this will happen when you're free. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you can live your life, because I tell you now, like, when they send you stuff, they're not sending you stuff to hear all this, what I'm saying, for real, for real. But you guys come and hang out with me to hear this in particular. So, you know, basically the truth. Like, can you give me an honest review of what's going on so I don't have to spend so much money trying to find the right thing, you know. So here's the Boctiver. See, remember, when you're doing things that track, you want to cut your bass frequencies on your bass and boost your high mids. You can keep your treble flat or roll it off a little bit, but you want to boost those upper mids. So you want to just have like that type of sound, and it helps the octavers and synth pedals track better. And if we compare that directly to like a Boss, an actual Boss OC5 in vintage mode, let's see how that sounds in comparison. See if they got close. Yep. All right, that's the Boss pedal, and here's the HX One. That actually tracks very well. Okay, I like that. So here's the MS-70CDR bass analog octaver. And it's pretty much the same thing, emulating the OC2. I mean, you know. So what you just heard in order was the HX One, the MS-70 CDR Plus, and then the actual Boss OC5 in vintage mode. Just one octave down. That's all that was, just to give you that, you know, classic club type bass sound, sound. But I actually really like this one. It doesn't it's actually very, very close to the OC5. You know, it's supposed to be emulating the OC2, of course, but the OC5 in vintage mode is supposed to be emulating that as well. So it gets you close enough. Let's see what he's talking about in the synth category. So it seems, let's see. Gotta go very slowly, apparently. Making it kind of useless. It's kind of useless like that. It's polyphonic. I mean, that's cool. You can have it shift left to right or wherever you would like to have it. You can, oh, that's pretty cool. So with this octave right here, the simple pitch, which is, you can actually choose, of course you can choose the interval, but you can also choose, let me see, it said delay. You can choose the delay on that. Let me see, you can put it to off. So, you know, it's okay. That's not too bad. You can mix that any way you want. Shift level. And then you can pan the shift. So say I wanted the dry on the right and the wet signal on the left. So that's actually pretty cool. You can create some cool effects like that. The dual pitch. You can have two pitches, separate pitches with, you can choose the interval, level, and all that stuff for that. And I guess it's more monophonic, the dual pitch. And octaver. With this 3. I'm not sure why it's so low. Why is this thing so low? Let me see some. Where's the master volume? Going through the what is this? Oh, this setting screen rather. True bypass output level. So you can do some nice little synth sounds, I would imagine. If you sat there and play with it long enough, you could get some different, type of synth sounds with that. But, just don't expect to be it's just too glitchy for all that. You have to very, like that type of thing. Me meow. But you get these note generators as well. Yeah, so now what I'm doing in order to assign all these to the flux mode, so you literally can just a noise generator, really. Create some chords, have it maybe shift between two chords, things like that. I just kind of had it set to random stuff there, but you can literally have it go from like a C major chord to a F major chord if you want the 1 to 4 chord progression or something like that. But with the pedal and with the foot switch, you could do it automatically. So it'll just go straight in, straight out. And you can set how much you want it to glide between the two, or glissando, rather. And it has three different notes there, so you can create a whole chord. You can set the attack and the decay of that as well. And you can pan it differently as well, and control the curve till it gets to the next, to the different flux mode. So it's something to look at there. It's literally just a stagnant chord, Poly pitch. See, I don't like to be honest with you, I don't like the tracking of these octaver pedals like that. The Boctaver is cool, but these other ones for like upper octaves is just they when you use certain ones, not the harmony pedal. Harmony pedal tracks pretty decently, but just for instance, I put on the polyphonic octaver on the Zoom pedal. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, I mean, the Zoom one, arguably, I ain't even saying that right, but you could argue that the one on the Zoom pedal might even be better. But at the very least, they're similar quality. You know, neither one of them are necessarily favorite polyphonic octaver sound. Let's see. Sorry about that. Where is it? See, just, of course, there's better polyphonic octavers out there, you know. That's the MXR Poly Blue. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you need this, whatever you need this for, this HX One, you probably be better off just, you know, if you need it that bad, like that you're willing to spend $250 to put this on a slot and use that effect, why don't you just buy the pedal? Like, buy an actual polyphonic octaver like the MXR Poly Blue or the Hog 2 or even the Pogs, you know. I mean, heck, like I said, or just get the Zoom pedals because they're cheaper. They sound just as good, to be honest with you. It sounds just as good. Like, this doesn't sound any better, you know, than the Zoom pedal does. And the Zoom pedal still has more processing power, it looks like. Being able to process. It's like you can get a used OC5 for like $100, $75 now. If you need, you know, technically this could move around. You know, if you bought one per se, you probably could, you know, put it like this. It'll be hard to outgrow, and per se, you know, because you can always just move it to something else, and you know. But it's like the more pedals you buy, the more useless this will actually become, in my opinion. Just because if I buy a dedicated compressor pedal, it's going to sound better than this. You know, one of the benefits of having something like a MS-70 CDR Plus is that you have 6 slots to have different effects in. This being limited to one almost makes it pointless. You know, especially when you got a pedal that just came out that's $100 cheaper, $120 cheaper. Does the same exact thing. Everything you're going to be able to do with this HX One, you could do with this. And this is also one effect at a time, except for MIDI. It doesn't have an expression pedal. And it's only 14 slots in here, memory slots. But you also get an app that you can just beam stuff into the joint on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that each thing, you know, and you can store unlimited presets in your Tone Print app and just beam them over to your that plethora X1. So it's like, is there even really any comparison? Even the size wise, you can see the difference. That way you can see the difference there. So look how much more space this is going to take up on your pedal board just to be one effect at a time. It's not even pedal board economically friendly. Like, it's not. It's taking up so much extra space. This and the Zoom pedal are about the same space. I know, but that's why you gotta come back. My man James said he want to hear the TC Electronic pedal now. This joint is gonna be fire because TC Electronic effects are really good. But I got this one in the mail first, so you know we doing the HX Stomp. This one I'll do tomorrow for sure. So make sure you subscribe, hit that like button for me. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch the review of this tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You can catch it live if you want. You can ask questions while I'm doing it, and you know, have me, certain things, if it's within reason, I can try to demonstrate certain things. That's one of the benefits I want to have to doing this live with you all, is that, yes, I want you guys to comment and do all that extra stuff, but I can interact with you guys, and you guys can almost like interact with the pedal some, depending on, you know, if I can catch a comment or whatever the case. But, you know, it's a first come, first serve. Useful. Like, that's not even going to be useful. I guess there's no way to control this filter, son. Yeah, and that my kind of sound. It's like, when am I going to use that? They gave you a bunch of effects. That's it. That's one thing you got to be careful of with these companies. They'll say stuff like, "Oh, we got 250 effects," but almost none of them are bass useful. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get this joint as a synth pedal. You might as well just get you a C4. Like, you're gonna spend $250 on this to use it as a synth pedal when you have the C4 or something like, or the Zoom pedal. The Zoom pedals have an analog synth on there that's really good for bass stuff. But sheesh. It's like, where am I supposed to use it? And I don't like this. I don't like this particular effect for the same reason I don't like most octave effects. Most bass synth effects is that it doesn't track well, and it doesn't feel good to play it either. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, when I turn on the C4 synth, like, it feels good to play it, you know. This doesn't feel good to play. And like I said, just sometimes a bunch of just useless. It's like, here's something that we came up with that you'll never use for anything. Yeah. So again, when am I supposed to use this? It's like a all right, there we go. Let you control the resonance. If I could control the resonance of this filter and bring it down, that would severely help this be usable. And it's like, just so you guys have an example again. Let me see. I'm not gonna do it on there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it on the MS-60B Plus down here. It's on the floor. It's off camera, but I just turned on the zoom. In fact, I ain't even alter it. Just right off the back, it feels good to play it. Like, I ain't even altered anything yet. And with it being an octave lower, you don't have any control over it. Hey, that might work right there. See this wave number 5. Okay, so number 2 is like an octave. Yeah, that might work right there. See, that feels a lot better to play than the other ones. So this one is actually pretty cool. I wouldn't mind this one. See, a lot of times when you're watching these reviews of this stuff, you're not hearing any of these effects. Like, they're not going through all these effects and stuff. It's just that's why I said, sometimes that model of them sending or paying people to do reviews, it works for them marketing wise, but in terms of a customer and a viewer, you don't hardly ever get to really see the capabilities of a pedal in live action, like right then and there as they're going through it, not all this pre-prepared stuff where I filtered out, a lot of times they filter out all the bad stuff they don't like about it. Like, they'll sit there, go through and make some patches and disregard all the stuff they don't like about it and just make sure they don't say anything about it and just say all the little good stuff about the unit. But when you get the unit in your hand, you be mad because it don't feel good to play. And that's one of the hardest things about certain effects, especially when it comes to bass. Like, some of these won't feel good. And everybody know if you playing bass, you gotta feel good. What's going on, Laurie? How you doing? So this is the Laurie. You don't see this the HX stuff? You had to ask. You ask me that every video. What pedal we doing? Like, you gotta. It's right there. Is it a title? Is it a thumbnail? She like, what pedal is it? No, I appreciate you. You always stop by and show me some love. Appreciate you, Laurie. So, nah, that ain't for me. It's like all these are like busted C4 synth patches or something like. And I certainly appreciate you stopping by every time. Thank you. I appreciate you. I got to mess with you a little bit. All right. So this one's actually on the Pod Go, the string synth. Or not, well, not this version. I think it's something else. It's not this. Again, just kind of useless stuff that's not really musical. It's musical if you could use it. Like, if I could get that to track well. and it's monophonic. So, you know, all you could do is like melodies, slower melodies with that. Yeah, you can only do like slower melodies with that little string thing. Which is a weird sound. Yeah, it just seems like they kind of just... See what we got here. Yeah, but the thing is with synth-based stuff, it's already... This one's on 60% already. It was on 64%. Going down to 50 ain't going to make this effect any more usable for me. It's just not... it's not useful for the way bass lines typically will move. It's not really about retaining the low end. It's about the effect does not feel good. Like, it doesn't feel good. I mean, like I said, the best things in here, I ran across 1 or 2 synths that was okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. That doesn't feel good. Something. This is the C4 synth. Even with the mess ups, it's still just... feels better. Then it's warmer and everything. It's just a harsh sound in the first place. You can set it to different octaves. Doesn't feel good. It's like, where am I going to use that? Where am I going to use that? That's not even musical. Cause, you know, like I said, C4 synth. Get you sounds like that, or synth-based stuff. So that's just a few presets from the preset pack for the C4 synth. You know, check that out on my Patreon. If you want to support the channel more, you can do that with Patreon. If you want to leave a tip, Cash App, Super Chat, super thanks. I appreciate all you guys on all the different platforms. But make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe so you know when I'm going live. And like I said, I'll be going tomorrow. I'll be doing the ToneX Electronic Plethora X1. Just came out. You know, like I said, these are about $120 cheaper to do the same thing the HX One does. At least the usable stuff. Because, like I said, it doesn't have those synths. But these synths are not where it's at. So, the weird thing about effects, I also don't like when effects make me work too hard to get a decent sound. I shouldn't have to. It should be more than enough usable sounds within an effect where I can immediately tell that. Like, I shouldn't have to go in and, like, I got to tweak every single thing just to try to get something half decent out of it. These are the filters. Like the MS-70 CDR has all these, you know, that same type of filter as well. It's not even hard to find. This is the MS-70 CDR Plus. Same thing. Here's the HX One. Just louder. That's the zoom pedal. Same thing. Only thing that I would say that on this particular effect, the HX Stomp has a mix, which definitely helps. So that's one. That's one. There you go. That's one. But is that, like I said, is that typically on the Zoom stuff, they will have, especially the bass specific stuff, will have a mix compared to even when the original effect that they're emulating doesn't have a mix. They will typically have a mix knob in there just because it does allow you typically do, I don't ever mix 50-50 when I'm doing wet dry. I'm either doing 60-70 to, you know, 30-40, you know, somewhere right there. So 60-40 or 70-30 on the wet side or the dry side. So it's just whatever I want to be the prominent side is going to be around 60-70%. Whatever's the weaker sound and just, you know, coloring or keeping the low end is going to be around that 30-40%. So it just depends on what you know. I like to mix it, but I literally never do 50-50. Seems like things get canceled out that way. Frequencies and stuff that I don't want to be canceled when I do 50-50. So it's got some, like I said, it's got some cool effects. That's a Tron. Let me see, let me pull one up on here. This is the Z-Tron filter on the But that's the other thing. These, it's like even the filters you just gotta tweak because everything is just made for guitars already. Like all the presets, the majority of presets are guitar presets, and even the filters. Like in order to get that filter to sound good, I had to do a whole bunch of tweaking compared to the Zoom stuff. Even though the Zoom stuff does have less parameters on this particular effect. So you got about 6 different parameters on that effect, and on there you got 4 on here. You know, you just have synth, resonance, dry, and volume on the MS-70CDR Plus on the Z-Tron filter. Compared to the Tron Up filter, you got 6 different parameters, but you're not getting. It's like, I feel like Zoom did a great job of just capturing the sound you wanted from the pedals, like the actual sound you wanted, like this. You know, that's the actual sound you. The main sound you're gonna want from what's that, a Q-Tron, like that just classic envelope filter that's similar to that MXR bass envelope filter, but this is just like. Maybe if I bring that wet dry mix up, bring the resonance up. Compared to the Zoom, the resonance on what, 7? So let's put this on about 70. They're close. I definitely, for me, the Zoom one is getting it there easier. It's getting it there faster with less tweaking. Even though I only have 4 parameters, it's the right 4 parameters. And I still wouldn't have had to spend an extra $120 or more, depending on which sound it is. That's what I'm saying. That it doesn't give you that envelope feel. Like, for instance, here's an analog bass filter, the MXR bass envelope filter. Right? Let me turn this up a bit. Oh, wrong one. One second, let me fix this camera. Sorry. Always have a bad habit of doing that, hitting the camera. Bam. Okay. Back to it. So that's the actual MXR bass envelope filter. And I know this is not the same exact emulation for the filter, but this is the Zoom MS-70 CDR Plus. So again, MS-70 CDR Plus. HX One. And the analog bass filter. That's the MS-70 CDR Plus. So they all sound, you know, any of those filters could be used. But of course the analog one has a lot more warmth. No, and you can't, you know, it doesn't necessarily. It does sweep down. You won't be able to sweep up to change it to where it opens. It actually opens from a certain point and closes from the dynamics. So if you wanted to, and if you theoretically, if you wanted the MXR filter to not open as much, you just would bring down the Synth and it won't open up as much. So you use like the Synth knob as your high frequency roll off type. See, I'm using like 75% of the Synth now. I got it around the Synth on the MXR around 3 o'clock right now. Opens up a lot more. If I put it at noon, right, completely keeps the filter because you have to hit it a lot. You need more volume in order to get it to open more. So, you know, just a little tip for the analog bass filters, dynamic filters. But yeah, let's keep going. And you got the loopers. Okay, so pretty much we went through a lot of those. Did we do any of the reverbs? Did I do some reverbs? I like this one. Just for a quick comparison, let's pull up the HD haul on the MS-70 CDR Plus. MS-70 CDR Plus right there. Now we're going HX One. I actually like both of them personally. Like I would like both of them for different stuff. Um, the this HX One hall has a nice like space about it. Let me see if I can make that a bigger room. That's fine. And it just blooms. That's nice. That's sweet. See if I can do that with this joint. See? Well, there's something. So I have the decay all the way up on both of these. But as you can hear, the zoom pedal still has a much shorter decay compared to, you could literally use this. And if you were running like a delay or something into it, it's almost like that's a beautiful sustain right there. And even when you cut it off, it's still going. That's crazy. Let me see if I can do that with this. Because I know this has a tail option. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, it does. Tail. Yeah, so with the zoom pedal, you can do that same thing, but you have an option of turning that on and off, the decay of it. I mean, the tail of it. So basically, when you switch the effect to bypass, does the effect keep going or does it cut off? So, for instance, when I do this, it's just going to stay there. When I bypass it, the effect is still happening. It's just bypassed. When I cut it back on, it's going to keep going. Compared to the zoom pedal, it's either the effect is on or off, or you can turn on the tail, and whatever you played last week, I bypassed it, right? It's still going to allow that sound to finish as well. But it won't. So basically, the difference between the two right now with this particular setup is going to be that hall. It keeps track of that. The HX One keeps track of the effects tail, like the effect is still going even though you bypassed it physically. So you can literally turn it on and off, but it still be happening. Like, so this is just going to be happening still, even though I've turned it off. It's just going to keep happening still. See, compared to the MS-70CDR Plus, you turn that on with the tail option on. Whether you turn the effect on and off or bypass it, like I'm flicking it on and off, you hear the sound keeps going. So if you turn on that tail, the sound, you can literally create a sound, bypass that effect, and the effect will still keep playing without your signal being routed through the effect anymore. So that's two key differences between the two units right there that you know might be useful to you, might not, but you know, something that you may need to know depending on what type of music and what you would like to ultimately be able to achieve with your effects unit. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Hit that like button if you haven't already. You guys are awesome. Just hanging out with me for a couple hours going through all these effects. And I know it's quite a bit of them. You know, so setup all messed up. Flickered the thing and everything else. Let me see. Let me get this set up here for you guys. Give me 1 second. Get this back the way it's supposed to be looking. I can't stop hitting the camera to save my life, boy. I tell you. And I wonder why my Instagram comments are not coming up on my Streamlabs. But okay, they're gonna make me answer these separately. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to wrap this up, you know. But I can't wrap it up without this shimmer. I gotta do the shimmer. And I'm gonna do a shimmer shootout with the MS-70 CDR Plus. And they both have particle reverbs too. Where do you get to this? Actually, it's right here. So here's the HX One shimmer. I love that. That sounds great. Here's the MS-70 CDR Plus. Let me do a little bit of tape delay. Yeah, they definitely won that one. Yeah, the HX One wins this one for sure with the shimmer reverb. Now, is the one on MS-70 CDR Plus passable? Yeah, it's passable. You know, you run it, but if you tell me which one is actually better, sounds better, that's fire. That's fire. And you can set the pitches to different stuff, so you could do like get an octave down. You can do like a third, like just do a third and a fifth. Let's see, is that 1, 2, 3, 4? I think. Make that a minor chord. Major. Actually, oh, that'd be dope. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a minor. So a major chord is gonna be. I want to say I want to have major chord be this, and then. I'm actually gonna save that. No, this is going to be yeah. So this is a good time, I guess, to kind of go through how to save stuff, I guess. So that changes that, and then I change the letter with the middle part. So this is gonna be my shimmer, and like I said, after I finish creating all the presets that I'm gonna create for it, I probably at least do 20. At least 20 presets on this. Stuff like this shimmer would be that setting to be available. And so what I did there was I had the shimmer set to with heel down was major and heel up basically toe down. So heel up is major, toe down is minor. And what that allowed me to do is pretty much create different scales with the chords similar to how a major scale or minor scale would be set up. You know, so the first chord is major, second chord minor, third chord is minor, fourth chord is major, you know. And then that way I can, right? Or I could do major, keep it diatonic. See, now, that's actually fire. That's actually fire that you could do that. That's tight. See, same chord, minor, heel down, major, toe down, minor. And really, I don't need the fifth. I don't need the fifth at all. So ultimately, I could do major third. So another thing you can do, or I mean, one of the best features about this little shimmer thing is you can have two different pitches set for the shimmer effect, and then you can literally have your expression pedal or use this flux button to switch between major, minor chords, or different textures of chords, or you might even, there's a lot of different things you could do. Have this set up to do. That would be awesome. So that's amazing. Let's see, where is? All right. Oh, not to mention it does have a tuner on here, which you can access by holding down both foot switches, all that good stuff. Oh, that's kind of dope. So you can have it in preset mode like this and flip through the different presets. Granted, this screen is really small. It's going to be hard to see this joint on stage. That's the other thing, like, the Zoom MS-60B Plus has a much bigger screen, even though, and not only that, but you can hook that to your phone, your iPhone or your iPad in real time and control your preset list and everything else. It doesn't have a feature where you can scroll through them like this. That's one of the complaints I do have about the MS-70 Plus and the MS-60B Plus. They need to go back and add the ability to get to the preset list and scroll like we used to be able to do on the original MS-60B and all that stuff. So that would be nice. But on this HX One, they've already included it. Like I said, I don't think it's a terrible unit. It definitely has some really nice sounding effects. And I'm not the biggest Line 6 effects fan. To me, like I said, the Zoom stuff sounds way more fuller. Sounds fuller, especially because a lot of it's made specifically for bass and the role of bass, while a lot of these in the HX One were made for guitar. The majority of this stuff is made for guitars in here, or tailored for guitar sounds, so they aren't so bass heavy and things like that. Like we need our stuff, to be able to feel it. So I would say, for the $250, $300, I can't say I would necessarily recommend it, but I'm not going to say that it's trash either. It's not trash. It's just not as versatile as I would like it to be, or, bucks, $120, this joint would be absolute fire. Absolute fire. You know what I'm saying? You might, if you could get two for that price, if you get two for $250 or two for $300, that would be amazing. Then you got a whole little two-piece rig there, where if you like the shimmer and you like one of the delays or modulations, you can have both. But to get two of these units for $600 or $500 is just ridiculous. You still only have two slots. That's pointless. You might as well get a HX Stomp or HX Stomp at that point. So, but this, like I said, it does sound good, does have MIDI, does have a tuner, and it has access to a ton of different effects. And some of the things it doesn't have, that it does have, that the MS-70 Plus doesn't have, is distortion, overdrives, things like that. So if you're into that, if you need that, rather, the MS-70 Plus isn't necessarily going to be that for you. But if you just need modulations, delays, reverbs, and filters, MS-70 Plus can do that. And the things it's not good at you can even choose to buy another pedal to, compensate for that. So, you want to, for me, I can't use this as a compressor pedal. I can't really use this as a distortion pedal or overdrive pedal. It does have like a Sans amp emulation on here and an Ampeg scrambler circuit in here, but the majority, like I said, the majority of distortions and overdrives in here you can't use. It does have a bit crusher. Let me see. Let me get to that bit crusher real quick before we get out of here. Where is it? There it is. See, that don't do it for me as no bit crusher, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not feeling that joint at all. Especially because, let's see something. I actually love the one on the Zoom pedals, the MS-60B Plus. What is that? Yeah, see, this one's way more like almost like an overdrive compared to the Zoom one. It don't take nothing but a couple turns of the knob, and you only get 4 parameters with the jank. Oh no, you get 5. I can change the bit. Take that back up to a 12-bit. I can change the sample. I can change the tone and the balance. So, certain effects I like better on the HX One. Like I said, that shimmer effect is awesome. But I love the fact that you can do like transform each effect. You can control various parameters with this flux and change effects parameters like that. And I love the fact that you have MIDI built into it. So if you got a MIDI rig set up incorporated, you can literally change all the effects at once with MIDI foot switches and including this, so that's great too. I love I don't mind the layout of it. Layout's pretty good. The the variety of effects is really good. You get, like I said, you get 250 effects. It's just you're not even going to use half of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? As a basis, maybe 30, 40. Compared to the MS-70 CDR Plus, you're not going to use all of those effects. It's 150 in there. But I would venture to say you're going to use more in that than you will in the HX One, especially because you can create patches and get in and out. This you got to kind of have it. How you going to have the bit crusher, the compressor, the delay, the reverb, the filters, and the modulations all in the same spot on your pedal board with only being able to use one at a time? Like, how do you even achieve that? Like, it doesn't work for me personally. I'll just say that. But, having something that allows multiple effects allows you to put it in one place. Even something like the source audio pedals, the source audio spectrum, you got a few different, not just filters, you got distortions and stuff in there. It's like that goes in a specific place on a pedal board. Like after your octavers, you can have a spectrum, and that runs your distortion and filters. But it's like with something like this, where are you supposed to be comfortable putting it and leaving it? Because it doesn't particularly excel at anything really. I mean, other than does have now, I would say the delays, the reverbs, I love them. I love the delays and reverbs on it, especially the size of it and the way it sounds like in stereo. So I would say, this for me, this would be best served as a delay reverb unit for you. Maybe definitely reverbs with that shimmer and, the Hall effect is really good. But you're either going to place it towards the end of your chain, typically as a delay or a reverb, in my opinion. And is that worth $250 to you or $300 to you, compared to you can, as a basis and as a solo basis, you know what I'm saying? You could just get a multi-stomp MS-70 CDR Plus for $129, or, check one of these out for $129, or check them both out for $260, and you still would be under the regular price of $300 that the HX One runs. And you got all the TC electronic effects here. You got all of Zoom modulations, choruses, modulation, delays, and reverbs, and filters in the MS-70 CDR Plus. These two should just get together and jump that pedal. They should jump that pedal. Just like, and if you watch my channel, I'm not a hugest fan of Line6 stuff in general, just because I feel like they're overcharging. I don't like that they don't cater to bassists at all. They don't even. It's like they just throw a few little extra bass effects on there, but we're not gonna put enough. We're not gonna do enough to have its own pedal. You know what I'm saying? But here's a few extra bass effects that hey, buy a $1,200 Helix for 10 effects, 20 effects, for bass, so that irritates me personally, that they don't take the time to make gear specifically, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they don't take the time to make effects units just for basses. They're making them for guitars and then expecting basses to adopt whatever they put together for guitars, for bass. But Zoom has definitely taken the time to create bass-specific stuff. And I would say TC Electronic, too, they've made their effects where they're versatile. I wouldn't say that these aren't versatile enough to use on bass. I would just say they don't always have the right features and sound and character for a good bass sound. You know what I'm saying? So I do like the Regal bass effect on here, which is the Noble preamp, but you got that on the B6 as well as the one under this. What is it called? The B2N or something like that. That does 6 effects at a time and has these DI types and has a has everything that you would need as well. So yeah, is this a pedal that a bassist would really need on their pedal board? You let me know in the comments. You know what I'm saying? You let me know what you think. I already told you. You know, I don't think it's trash, but is it going to be something that's going to make it onto my pedal board? Absolutely not. It just taking up a lot of extra space, and other pedals do the same job it does, but better or cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need it to be this expensive for that. So I definitely, you know, think it has, like, that shimmer is the best one in there, and that analog flanger in the legacy section is good. So check those out. Let me know what you think about this pedal in the comments and all that stuff. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. You know, check out the Patreon where you can get my presets for the MS-60B Plus, the Zoom B6, the Source Audio C4 synth. I got a 47-piece bass synth pack for that. And check out all my presets and setting preset packs and preamp packs for the ToneX series pedals and software. As well as if you want to leave a tip, Cash App, Super Chat, Super Thanks. I definitely appreciate all the people supporting the channel every month over on Patreon, which helps me be able to buy new gear and try it out for you guys unbiased with no filter, you know, nobody pulling my strings telling me what to say and what not to say, you know. I definitely appreciate all of you guys. Check out my music at allbasscreations.bandcamp. You know, I did an entire album with just my bass and effects, as well as I did some singles on there where it's me playing everything, bass, piano, and drums. And yeah, all social media at the Bass Negus on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys next time. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.